Hey guys, so today we're going to film our live stream in our studio so that you can see kind of what I'm doing a little bit better. And it's an actual tutorial today, so super excited to show you something that I came up with that y'all have been requesting. But first, I want to talk about our big announcement. So today we are going to be announcing, and actually because you're on the live stream, you can actually enter first. We're having a huge mega giveaway. We're giving away 15 boxes that have $500 worth of fabric in them. So that is $7,500 worth of fabric. So if you want to enter, just click the link below in the comments section to the survey, and you have to fill out the survey and you have to put your email because that's how we're going to notify our winners. We use this information, we read every comment. So like if you have something that you want to suggest, now's the time. So show us your love, but also the stuff you don't like about our shop, we want to know. So this is a good way for us to give back to you guys because we love all of our customers so much, and it's a way for us to take the information from you guys to make our site better. So that is our big giveaway, and I hope everyone is super excited, and I hope that y'all are excited that y'all get to enter first because you saw it first on the live stream. So that is my first thing. I hope people are joining in.
Lots of people joining in.
And then I want to say some hellos. I'm going to say hi to Gabriel Fuentes because he's always commenting, and I want to say hi to Peach Luttrell because she's always commenting. I think she like lives on Facebook. And just to like clarify, I've never met them. I don't know them. I just think they're awesome. So I'm going to give them a shout out. Also, our YouTube our subscriber of the week is going to be Melinda Sickler-Perrin. She put together a really cute, I think it was Metropolis. Oh, she used fat quarter cobblestones, which is one of our free patterns that I showed a couple weeks ago. And she used it with one of her fat quarter clips that she gets from our shop. So I thought that was really cool. So if she can email me, I can send her her prize. So those are kind of our little announcements. And now we'll just start the tutorial. It could get a little in depth. So to start the tutorial, we put together this really cool guide for you for On Point Math. What we did is we printed it out. It's free. The link is below. We laminated it. So this can go in your sewing drawer, and you can always have it here because On Point Math is super complicated, and I could go through the formula. It's like this times 1.414 divided by this, or this time, I mean, it's like super complicated. And I'm totally fine doing that. Like I'm a CPA, so like I can do that in my, not in my head, but like I always have a calculator. But that's way too complicated. So I'm not even gonna go into that because that's stupid and y'all don't need to know that. So just download this, and I'm gonna just talk a little bit about On Point Math and then walk you through some tips to make it. And this is the way I do it. So this is not the traditional method. It's just just like a slight change to it, but I think y'all will like it. So on this quilt that y'all can see here, this is a free pattern. This block pattern. If you see the block pattern, the links below. It's called, what's it called, Lily?
Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone. So this is just, I just went back and thought, what can I pull from our archives that's free? You don't have to buy anything. So this is a 12.5-inch unfinished block and a 12-inch finished. So when you are looking on your chart, you want to look at the finished size. So the finished size is 12 inches. These corners are called side corners. No, side setting. So these are sides. The corners are actually corners. So that is pretty important. Your corners are always cut on the diagonal once, and your setting triangles are always cut on the diagonal twice. Another rule is you want to put together your entire quilt with all of your sides. The corner triangles are the very last thing you want to add. They never go first. So those are the, I guess, most important things is corners, side, cut once, cut twice, and that is all here. But what I do, and I have done this forever, is if you do the traditional method, which is the first two columns, you will get your points will end up like this, except like they're never, I don't know, Lily, if you have to show this camera, if it's showing the, oh, also I was gonna say, if y'all want like super detailed shots, get on YouTube, because you'll be able to see the camera up here.
Yeah. Also, people are asking for links on Instagram. We can't share through our Instagram live feed, but if they want the links, they can go to YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, so we have the links on YouTube, Facebook. We can't do it on Instagram. But so if you did this traditionally, this is how your quilt would be. But you can see that it's never 100% across. I mean, mine's pretty good today, but you know, a lot of times these won't line up. So I always cut mine 1/2 inch bigger. So if you're looking at this, you just look at the last 2 columns. If you were following a quilt pattern and it tells you what to cut, add 1/2 inch. Now you have to have extra fabric for it, but if you're just adding 1/2 inch, hopefully you won't have to buy anything extra. I've never had to. So I'm gonna now show you kind of tips on putting it together. I'm just gonna show you this corner. So, and I'm going to show y'all just a shot of the quilt, just in case y'all want to see the whole thing.
1 second. Back to that. Perfect.
So this is just, I just did 9 blocks and just put some plain fabric in between. I'm going to show you how you would do the corner, and basically how you do the corner will show you how you do all of the rest. And I'm going to be putting a really cool piece backing on this that I'm going to show y'all. I can show y'all in a couple of weeks, but let me fold it up. And this is actually, I call it a 2-in-1. It's for my best friend and his wife. They're having a baby boy, so I'm like 2-in-1. Live stream and gift, done. So that is that. So before we started, I went ahead and followed my guide, and I looked at 12 inches finished with the last 2 columns, and my side, which I put an S alphabety so I would remember, was cut 18.75. So I'm gonna leave the S with that, and my corner was cut 9 7/8. So I've already cut these so that y'all can see them. And it says on there, corner, cut 1 time on the diagonal for 2 triangles. So I'm gonna do that. So this is gonna be my corner. And I've cut it 1/2 inch bigger, so if you accidentally, if your rotary cutter moves, it's not gonna be such a big deal because, you know, this is biased, so sometimes it moves. So I'm gonna, to keep that kind of together, I'm gonna put C on it so that I can remember corner. Otherwise I don't remember, because after you cut these, you've just got a bunch of triangles, and then I can never remember what goes where. So this is my setting. And on this one, what you're gonna find is the ruler doesn't go all the way across. So what I do is I use a friction pin and kind of start the line and just draw the whole line to make sure it does a full diagonal, because you don't want to start cutting and then it not really work. And a friction pin is going to go away with heat later, and plus you're cutting on the line, so you're never going to see it. So that looks about right, because there's not a ruler that goes all the way, and when you're working with big triangles like this, you want to be accurate. So I will start, cut to the center, move my ruler, and cut to the center. And you see that this is so big that it's going to move around a lot, and now that you have your line, you don't really have to worry about keeping it, keeping your ruler all the way across. So this is kind of like a little shortcut that I use. So now I've got these, and you on your side are going to cut it twice on the diagonal, which gives you 4 triangles. So when you're doing your quilt, you just have to figure out, you know, how many triangles do you need, and divide that out. And on your guide, and this guide will be on our site forever free, it will be on our free pattern page also. So I'm going to label these with S for setting. So does anybody have questions? Well, actually, let me just go on and show you the side, and then we can do questions. So this is a block that I did, and we're going to just consider that we're doing the this one corner. So I'm going to kind of put this here as a guide so you can kind of see what part of the quilt I'm working on. I don't know if, do you think that shows it?
Let me move that.
I don't know. So we're kind of gonna do this. So first, like I said, you're gonna use your side. Always goes first. So you'll lay your side this way. And anytime I'm doing something on point, I lay, well, what I did yesterday, I lay the whole quilt on my floor and I sew it row to row. So put your sides. And then you make sure that it's all going the right direction. So then what I do is, you've got this little tip or whatever. I don't care about this tip because I've made mine bigger so it doesn't have to extend exactly a 1/4 inch away, which normally it would. And this is all bias here, so it's very stretchy. So I do recommend starch. So what I do is I fold this over and I'm gonna line up the two sides. And again, I'm not gonna worry about this little tip. I'm gonna pin a lot. I would never do on point without pinning. That is what people don't like about on point, is you have to get the math exactly right. And that's why I do it my way, because it actually works. So first I would do that, and then I would pin the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna pin just so you can, we're gonna pretend I'm stitching today. I'm not gonna really stitch this block because this is gonna be used on the back of the quilt as a piece of backing. Let me fix this. So, let's see.
I know some people were tuning in and did not get all the info on the giveaway, so we had a lot of questions about what that's about.
So the giveaway is first announced in our live stream. We are giving away 15 boxes that have $500 each in them. So that's a total of $7,500. In the comments on YouTube and Facebook, if you click on the comments, there's a survey. We need you to complete the survey. Give us your positive, give us your negative, and we're gonna select some winners. I can't remember the exact date it ends, but all the information is gonna be on the blog today. You've got like a month or like 3 weeks, so you're good. So what I would do now is stitching. I always start and I always put the background, or I'll just call this a background, or your triangles on top, so that your stitches or all your big seams are on the bottom. So I would stitch this way and then I would stitch this way, just keeping your triangles on the top. Then when you're done, press. Then you need to trim these little triangles off, and you just do that with a ruler. You know, you just cut your little stitches off. Then you want to add your corner. So to add your corner, and remember the 4 corner triangles always go last. They're the very last thing you ever do. To do that, you're going to find the center of your triangle, find the center of your block, line those two things up, pin, and then stitch. And again, you're going to want to pin all the way across. You're working with bias, it's going to wiggle, so you have to pin. Starching is always recommended when you're doing when you're doing on point math, and then you're just going to press. So that is how you do on point math. The biggest thing that I never knew for years was that the corners go last. I used to put the corners first, and it just, something about that just doesn't work. I can't explain exactly, but put the corners last. So there's that. And then what you can do is take your quilt top. Now on this quilt top, again, instead of being a 1/4 inch away from the edge, I'm like, you know, 1/2 inch. So I've got extra room. So what you can do is you can leave it just like this and have it quilted. You know, and then when you put your binding on, your binding doesn't exactly touch your points, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about your binding cutting into this. Or you can trim. But I would never just start cutting because you're on the bias again. I would take your friction pin, put your point a 1/4 inch away, draw your line. I would do it on all 4 sides. Make sure that when you're turning your corner, that your lines match up so that the line you draw on this side has an exact 45° on this side, and then I would trim. I would never just start trimming. And that's a whole extra step. So you can see that this is extra steps. You know, you're cutting it a little bit bigger. You're having to trim down. But it's a lot easier to work with because when you're adding your triangles, you don't have to make sure that this is a 1/4 inch hanging off here and a 1/4 inch hanging off here. It just works, and it's actually, I think it saves time. So that's my on-point math tutorial. Let me know what y'all have questions on. Sorry I did that like kind of fast.
People are very happy we have a printable chart, so they're saying thank you for that. Some people have used it and say it's great. Somebody was asking, is that real spools of thread behind you?
Yeah, it is. Courtesy of RFL. So yeah, they're real. And we do use them sometimes, so we'll pull them off and try not to use too much so that it still looks pretty.
Awesome. Let me see. We haven't had very many questions about
The math.
the math come in. Vicky's asking, on your chart, is it the exact size or have you added the extra 1/2 inch?
So the first 2 columns are for the traditional method. The second, and that just says the traditional method. So that's how you would normally do it. The last 2 columns say Kimberlys Method, and that is where we have added 1/2 inch for you. And just like as a tip, if you've got a pattern that you're following that has the measurements, just add 1/2 inch.
Alright, let me check Instagram to see if we have any comments or questions here. Love the pattern, nice presentation. Let's see. Oh yeah, people were asking about links, which are on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you go, we also have a Kimberly Stitch Squad, which is our Facebook group. We will post the video there. We will post the video to Facebook, Fat Quarter Shop's Facebook, YouTube's Fat Quarter Shop right after this. So all those links will be there. We have a free pattern page, and this will be on there. And like I said, we laminated it so that it won't ruin, and I can just keep it forever in my sewing drawer.
Yeah, I also think we had some confusion on Instagram about the giveaway because people were putting their emails on Instagram. They have to fill out the survey, which is on the blog.
Yeah, so go to the blog. The survey will be on the blog. You have to answer questions to win because we're using the data as a way to improve our site.
All right, and Erin is asking why add 1/2 inch?
Okay, so if you didn't add 1/2 inch, sometimes it will be wavy and it won't come out exactly the right amount. And then when you're adding your triangles, you have to make sure that that tip on the end is exactly a 1/4 inch away. And then when you press it, if it's not, then you're just short, and this is short. And so I always feel like, especially because usually, you know, on point goes to the edge of your quilt. When you're adding your binding, you don't want your binding to go in. You would rather it either float or hit exactly. And if you don't add that 1/2 inch, I don't know, it's just very stressful, and I could never get it right. I could never get the math right. So it's just like a little way to make it easier for me because I can just trim down, and then it's exactly the right size when I send it to my quilter.
All right. Janet's asking, can you check the math on the first side block number?
Why don't you just email me or just put a comment on Facebook because I don't have my calculator right here. We did have it checked, so it should be right. But yeah, email me if you have any questions. We also have the formula at the bottom so that if you ever have like a weird block size that's not here, you can do the math yourself.
And Teresa's asking, what do you do for square in the square blocks?
Square in a square. I usually just do those the normal way. I don't add, but if you want to, you could add and then use a Creative Grid, just a ruler, a square ruler, which I don't have any right here, but they have a little 1/4 inch mark all the way around. So you could, you would keep that center square the same. And if you were going to add to it, I would add the last 4. I don't usually do that. The reason I do it on a quilt is because it's the edge of your entire quilt. For a block, it's just a little portion of your quilt, so it's not, to me, that big of a deal. I just can never get these exactly straight. They're always wavy because you're working on bias.
All right, and someone said, oh, today's the day to sign up as a YouTube member. So this person has been looking forward to today.
Oh, yeah. So today, yeah, definitely for YouTube members, we're going to be having like a little, what do you call it?
Perk?
A perk. So Lily is posting that later today. And then keep sending ideas. We have a whole list of ideas of what we're going to be offering. We're going to do it every 2 weeks. Lots of fun, exciting things. One of the things that y'all did ask for is sneak peeks of upcoming things, and it's a great time to ask for that because market is like November 1st or 2nd or something like that, and we have the new designer mystery coming up. We have a new book coming up, actually 2 new books coming up. And what I'm hoping to do on those is do a short little live stream for my YouTube members, like a day or 2 early, and you can just see it, and maybe I can put the quilt, I'm still gonna show everyone else who doesn't pay. It's just like a little perk to see it early. And I'm actually on the designer mystery, might be showing before you can even sign up, because I have like a 1-week deadline to make that quilt. So it might not be obviously it's designer mystery, so I can't show the whole quilt, but I can show like enough to where you'll know if you like it or not.
All right, and someone's concerned because they did the survey for the sweepstakes, but they're not sure if they put their full email on it. Is there a way to check?
I would just redo the survey. I mean, you could call us, but I would just redo it. Or, yeah. Because if you call customer service, they don't have access to that data. So they're not going to be able to know. Or you could just email me, put a note in the Kimberly Stitch Squad on Facebook, and I can send it to who can answer that.
All right. Teresa says, I love the videos you need to post on Market. So she's excited about that.
Yeah, so this time at Market, Lily's going to go with us. So we're going to have more videos. So she's going to do a lot of live streams from Schoolhouse. So those you can't ask questions or anything, and it might not be where it's on all of our platforms because it's just not possible. She has a whole setup here. There's no room at Market to do that. So we're going to do some live streams. I'm not sure what media they're going to be on yet. We're meeting later today to talk about it, but we're going to do a lot of videos on live stream. I'm going to do booth videos of the Moda booth, the Riley Blake booth, and the Art Gallery booth. And Matthew, you better be watching because you're doing that again. And then if there's other things that y'all specifically want to see, I'm only going to be, I'm only going this time for Schoolhouse and for the first full day because my son's birthday is on that Sunday. So I will not be there the second day, but we will still be posting stuff. So if there is something specifically y'all want to see, I would start letting us know in the comments or Facebook somewhere so that we can, because we're starting to make our list today of what we're going to cover. Some of the videos I'll be in, those 3 booth videos I for sure will be in. Some of the others I probably won't be because I'm going to be buying fabric for all of you guys. So, but whatever y'all want to see, we're totally open to listening to suggestions. So let me know what y'all want to see.
Someone's asking, what is Market?
So Quilt Market is twice a year. In the fall, it's in Houston, and in the spring, it's just somewhere else. It changes every year. And all of the big manufacturers go and they present their fabric. So I will sit at a booth, maybe Lily can fill in or something. And basically the sales reps bring out either paper or fabric and they show it, and it has all the information there. It'll say ship date, how many SKUs, what the designer is, and they show all of it. And the way that Kevin and I buy is we pile it all up. So we look at all of it. And then when we're done, we pull out yeses, maybes, and nos. So it's a quilt market where we buy all of our fabric. and it's a little bit late this year. So a lot of the vendors are releasing their fabric before market, because if market is so late, it doesn't give their sales reps enough time. So we are going to be releasing Moda's collections on October 24th, a full week before market, because that's when all the other stores get it too. So a lot of the stuff we will see ahead of time, but new notions, new patterns will be coming out there, and it's just a way for us to go see all the vendors, buy all the stuff. We post a lot of comments. We listen when y'all post. Oh, I love that. You know, when we get home, we look at which post has the most likes. You know, because that tells us what you're interested in.
Yeah, people are just really excited. Lots of people excited they made it to the live stream today, because sometimes they can't. We didn't have any more questions.
Okay, and so next week's live stream, it's gonna be next Friday, which is October 12th. I'm gonna go through a couple of things. I'm gonna go through my stash, which I'm gonna be real honest, I don't have a lot of stash. But I'm gonna show how I store my rulers, how I store my projects as I go, how I use my design boards. It kind of give you a little bit of idea of how I do actually use my design boards in my storage. So I'm gonna kind of show you what I'm currently working on, kind of how I have my drawers organized, and then I'm going to show you my little closet that has all of my stuff. It has a lot of cross stitch. It doesn't just have quilting, but I'm not going to give you anything earth shattering. I think y'all want something earth shattering with show me all your stash. I don't really have any. I think I'm going to have a lot of tips for you, especially on how to keep everything you're working currently on organized, because I'm really good at that. But as far as stash, I don't really have a lot, but I do have a little. So I'll kind of show you what I do and how I organize, because I organize starched versus unstarched designers. I don't do it exactly like, you know, some people organize exactly by designer or exactly by color. I don't really do that. I just kind of have like a half and half, whatever kind of thing going on.
Teresa says, I volunteer my stash for Kimberly to come organize.
Oh, yeah. The biggest stash I've ever seen is Lori Holt's, and when I was at her house. And we're going to be going there in a couple of months. She doesn't really like live streams at all. So what I might do is just do like a studio tour and like dig through her stuff and show y'all. I mean, I have to get her permission, but I'm gonna ask her if I can just like dig through her drawers and just show y'all, and she doesn't have to be on camera. I can just do it. It'll be fun. But when I went to her house the first time, which I've been there like, I don't know, at least 10 times, we literally were filming. I didn't know her, she didn't know me, so we're like trying to like warm up to each other, and she literally said to me, I don't really have that much stash. And I'm thinking, there's fabric everywhere. Like, she has it in drawers, she has it everywhere. So I just was like, I took like a couple of days, and then I was like, you know, because we filmed a couple of days, and I was like, do you know what you just said? Like, you said you don't really have that much fabric. She's like, oh, well, I've had more. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. She has fabric in her garage, like in plastic bags. She's got fabric everywhere.
Lots of people say they can relate. Someone said I should open a store for my stash.
Yeah, like yeah, I kind of, when I buy, or I don't usually buy just a bundle to buy it, which is not really what I should be telling my customers, because I want you to buy all the fabric. But really what I do is I buy project specific, or I will never do it. So like this, I sat down, obviously I designed my own little thing, so I sat down and looked, okay, I'm gonna use this fabric twice, this fabric once. On my free pattern, I just hand wrote how many squares I was gonna need to cut. I bought exactly what I needed. So yesterday, if I was short, we were gonna be in so much trouble, because I just don't buy extra. I don't buy extra. So there's none of this left in my stash because I used every single inch. And also, one thing that a lot of you guys have asked me about is how do you know what to cut? I sit down and look at a pattern. I don't read the whole instructions, but I look at all of the cutting, and I will just draw it on a piece of paper. Like, I'll just draw out, okay, I can make one cut of this, one strip of this, or I just need to cut a little bit. I figure out all my cutting before, so that if there is anything left, I will save it in my stash. But I do try to buy specifically exactly what I need. So like when I came in this morning, I had no extra background to cut those corner or setting to even get ready. Yeah, so I just kind of, but you know, like if buttons and thread, I will just buy a ton of it because I don't use it. I use it, but like I hoard thread and buttons. But fabric, I don't. I just buy exactly what I need mostly.
Cool.
And then let's see. So again, let's see. YouTube, follow us, like us, give our videos some love. Facebook, follow us on Fat Quarter Shop. Follow us on Kimberlys Stitch Squad. Email me any questions there if you have questions on the On Point Math. I have some other stuff I was going to show y'all.
Someone did ask which email should they send it to if they have a question.
Kimberly@fatquartershop.com. So we have a club that we just finished a quilt. So this is going to be some of the fabrics included in the Cotton and Steel Quarterly Club. And what you get in that club is fat quarters. You get 12 fat quarters. Oops. You get a free pattern. Let me see the pattern. Oh, I lost the pattern. Oh, here it is. So you get a free pattern, and that pattern has full color instructions, and like one of the things that y'all always mention is how do you cut it. So we've actually give you a cutting diagram on how you cut your fat quarter down. I wish all pattern companies do. And this is just kind of some of our past ones, so you see how it comes. 12 fat quarters, and then we give you a spool of the Cotton and Steel Sulky thread, and then you add your own background binding and backing. And you don't have to use our pattern. We just try to give you a glimpse of it. And then I was just going to address the whole Cotton and Steel. So Cotton and Steel was started by 5 or 6 designers. They started it with RJR Fabrics. RJR owns the name. Those designers have now left RJR. At market, they are announcing where they are going. I don't know the answer to that, but they will be doing fabric again. I have no details on that. We're going to keep our Cotton and Steel Club with the Cotton and Steel that RJR is still producing. I have seen the next batch. It looks really nice. I like what they're continuing to do. We will buy both. We will buy the Cotton and Steel. I assume the Cotton and Steel previous ladies will come up with a new name. I have no details on that, but that will definitely be something that will be on Lily's list to live stream and announce. And if there's a schoolhouse, we will go to that. We don't have the schoolhouses like before market. That will be something that we cover. We will release it as soon as we have the information. So I kind of just wanted to address that because I haven't addressed it yet. But you know, it is what it is. I know there's controversy out there. Some of y'all are mad because Cotton and Steel should have kept their name or whatever. That's all like nothing to do with Fat Quarter Shop. That's all like business contracts and all kinds of other stuff. And I will say a funny story is about a month ago, so my daughter, well actually all my kids changed schools, but my daughter is at the middle school. So you know, they have like parent night, and I've never done one where you like go classroom to classroom, but anyway, she's in middle school now. So we go classroom to classroom, and I'm in this classroom and I look over and I see Kim Kite. And I told Kevin, I said, is that her before I go make a fool of myself? Because I don't want to go up to somebody and it not be her. Because I thought she lived in like another part of town, and it was Kim Kite, but she would not tell me where they're going. Her exact words to me was, I would be happy. So wherever she's going, if I'm happy, I'm sure you guys will be happy. We're going to be buying all of it. But that's kind of what that is. Also, our most popular product this year has been our So Organized Stash and Stores. And we are offering, we only bought a certain number. It's red, it's called Ruby, I think. Yeah, Ruby. And this is going to be coming in November, and I kind of wanted to just give y'all a little peek of it. This is actually just a prototype, so it's not even the real product. But we are going to get these in November, limited supply. Once they're gone, they're gone. We're not reprinting because the place that makes it will only do glitter a certain time of the year. So we have these coming, and that's kind of all that I have that's kind of new. But next week I have some cool stuff to show you guys, some more like new products. I've got already like the list of things to show you next week is really big because we've already started it. It's just they're not for sale yet. So I don't want to show you because then you're going to say, where's the link? How can I buy it? And I don't have it. So any other questions, I'm happy to answer. And then keep sending us ideas. Peach actually sent me a message last night with 2 really good ideas for the live stream. So, you can feel free to direct message me and tell me your ideas. And then what Lily and I do is we just have a running list and we meet all the time and talk about, okay, what am I going to do? Because I do want to be showing tutorials, not just talking, because I'm going to run out of things to say.
Just to clarify for some people, the stash and store is glittery.
Yes.
It's a little hard to see on camera.
Okay, so it's glittery. It's got a gold glitter, but the glitter does not come off. It is part of the, it does not come off. It's just part of the molding or whatever, the plastic.
And people are asking, what is the stash and store?
Oh my gosh, stash and store. So if you don't have one, I thought everybody did because it's her most popular product, is you can stash of course.
No things to put in it.
Yeah. So basically I have it next to my sewing room sewing machine. And you can put there's little flower heads inside and you can store stuff. So you can put your scissors down so that when you pick them up, you're not stuck. You can put your seam ripper like this. I usually put it like this and just careful when I get it, but all your marking tools, the rotary cutter won't fit, but it's just a way to store your store your stuff. And we have a lot of colors, mint, aqua, pink.
I use mine for my makeup tools. And
okay, yeah, so Lily uses it for makeup, and my daughter has one. I don't know what she uses it for, but my sons don't care a thing about it.
Let's see.
Yeah, but we just wanted to show you a new color that we were going to have, and especially because it's limited. I'm not trying to sell you anything because there's plenty of other colors on our site that you can get right now. It's just that once they're gone, we can't get them remade until next year, and so it's just going to be a one and done type thing.
Cool. Teresa had asked if she could see the studio. I'm going to say that might be a members thing we do later on.
Yeah, it's also a mess right now, so I don't think I would let any of y'all see it. So we'll probably do a member video and just show y'all studio first. It's not really that exciting. I guess it is. It's just a lot of stuff. I'm a little OCD, and so right now it's a complete mess because we have all of our prizes right here. So you can barely walk through because there's $7,500 worth of fabric right here.
Yeah. I was impressed the first time I walked in here, guys, just so you know.
Oh, so Lily likes it.
And yeah, we've got some conversations going on in the comments about different things, but...
Okay, so we'll see you next week. We're also going to probably have other stuff next week too. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week.
All right.